Hi, I'm Pat. Myself, along with Ari David, our editor, and Alicia Wilkerson, our illustrator, make up the team behind Expect Delays. Expect Delays is a two-player deck D-builder about the joys of riding public transit. The goal of the game is to be the first person to get 10 destination points, or at least be the player with the most destination points when the subway system inevitably comes to a grinding halt and every train is broken. Players will take on the role of busy commuters, but everything from stuck doors to traffic fires, signal delays, and even a wave of tourists taking up space on your train conspire to make it difficult for you to get where you're going. The main mechanic of Expect Delays focuses around a single shared deck of train cards. Both players' trains are in this deck, and so players need to use their limited actions on their turn to make sure that they are taking their opponent's trains out of service while keeping theirs in repair. Each player's turn is broken up into three phases: the action phase, the disembark phase, and the upkeep phase. During the action phase, players can take 2 of 5 possible actions. They could take the board action to put commuters onto their line. They could run either of their lines, discarding cards from their hands to do so. They could take a train out of service. This breaks it so it's no longer in the deck, and they earn fair swipes for saving room in the budget. They could repair any broken line, putting it back into the deck. This helps you make sure that your trains continue to run. Or they could take a potential service advisory action. Some service advisory cards are events, and others are new actions that players can use on their turn. After they've taken 2 actions, players move on to the disembark phase. Players can disembark any commuters no matter where they are on the line and earn destination points depending on how far they made it. In addition, every time players disembark a commuter, you get to embark a tourist onto the starting spot of either of your opponent's lines. Tourists just get in the way and they're not worth any points, so they're a nuisance that players need to get rid of. Finally, players move on to the upkeep phase. You discard any cards you have left in your hand, draw a new hand of cards, and if necessary, flip over a new service advisory. At this point, we've been working on Expect Delays for a little over a year now. We've finished playtesting the game and have begun moving on to prototyping the actual components we will be using. We've begun reaching out to manufacturers and are working on getting finalized quotes for what the game will cost to produce. We intend to use a crowdfunding campaign to actually get this thing funded. Previously, we've used Kickstarter to successfully fund our 2 other games, Complicated Board Game, the Card Game, and Status Report. We plan to do that as well with Expect Delays. This time, however, we'd like to actually put a marketing plan in place. We'd like to spend the time to actually build out what that looks like, figure out how to run successful advertisements, reach out to reviewers, or even folks that can just get the game in front of a camera. This is not something we've had the luxury to do previously, and it's not a skill that we've built up. It's somewhere we think that the Incubator can really help us out, as you have access to professionals and game developers who have done this successfully before. Thank you for considering Expect Delays, and thank you for your patience.